Hello and welcome to another episode of As the Wheels Turn. I am your host and installer, Dwayne Lee, and you are at Creative L Concepts, where all the magic happens. So today's incomplete video, it's a two-part, will be on an upgrade that I've done for a 2009 Nissan Murano. I owned this vehicle about 3 years ago, and of course, I wanted to do an update on it. So I replaced the headlights and I replaced the factory radio with an Android unit. And it was only offered by one company, and that company is called Nifty City. But anyway, with all that, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dwayne Lee and you're at Creative L Concepts, where all the magic happens. And for today's video, this is my new car that I just picked up about a month ago. 2009 Nissan Murano. This is the SL version. And as you can see, I got the front end taken off of it. And unfortunately, it suffers from probably 98% of all the vehicles in the US and probably around the world of oxidation. What happens to these headlights? These are the factory headlights. You know, they just the compound of the plastic that it's made of is just not designed to withstand the intense heat, you know, of the sun. I pulled out this side over here, and there's the passenger side. So basically, I'm going to replace these. This is what I normally do. You know, there's different ways of doing it. You know, some people, they sand them down, they spray them with clear, you know, they use bug spray, you know, all kind of different types, you know. Now with the newer aftermarket ones, so you got some pluses and cons with that one. For this particular car, this is a HID setup, okay, factory. The only drawback of this particular vehicle is that they don't offer another aftermarket HID assembly for this car. So I'm gonna have to go with a normal, which is a regular headlight system, which is the halogens, and I'm gonna have to convert it over. Not a problem, because I do this all the time. And if you've seen my other previous videos on my the Camaro here, the Project Red Alert, of course that car came with halogen, the square rectangular lights from the factory in 1996, and I completely converted these over to HID, so they do have the ballast on them. You can go back and look at the previous videos, and again, these are aftermarket headlights for a 98 Yukon, so they're not even designed for this car, but they're the only alternative that you can put in, because this car, again, does not come with an aftermarket assembly that will work from 93 to 97. So in this particular case, I'm gonna have to rewire all these connectors. These are all different. These are made specifically for the factory HIDs, which is a bad thing if you don't know what you're doing. So it's gonna take a little bit more work. The side marker light actually does work with the new lights. Okay, there's a connector for that one. And I'll go into more detail. I don't have the new setup in here, but they are clear. And the difference is, when you do aftermarket lights, the majority of them, what I've noticed throughout probably the 17 years or longer that I've been installing aftermarket headlight assemblies, the plastic material that they're made of, the compound is better than the factory. Unless you're buying a Porsche, a BMW. So if you guys, you know, anyone who has a 2009 Nissan Murano with the factory HIDs, this is what you're gonna run into. So I wanted to post this video to let you guys know that they do not make an aftermarket headlight assembly for the HIDs, okay? You're gonna get, the only thing available is a standard, okay, for the halogens, which you can convert the halogens over to HID. So I did order a separate HID kit that comes with 2 ballasts 2 HID bulbs. I usually get the 8000K, which has a slightly light blue tint to it. But anyway, guys, I'll be shooting some more footage. See, I got it jacked up here. Now, I didn't know this until I pulled the front end off the car. So this is my primary car to drive. So it's been on the lift for, you know, about a week now because I had to wait for the parts to come in. Okay, guys, so basically this is the connector that came in. I got 2 of these for each turn signal. And these are the factory turn signal in the plug that will not fit into the new headlight assembly. Like I mentioned earlier, this is only set up for an incandescent bulb, right? And a halogen bulb for the low beam. That's the low beam, this is the high beam here. So I'm switching it out. I'm gonna do the HIDs, which the car actually comes with, but again, they don't make the aftermarket HID setup for this particular car, 2009 Nissan Murano. So, and I'm gonna switch out the incandescent bulbs with the LEDs. Now, you will need, in most cases, a low resistor, right? This is a 50 watt, 6 ohm low resistor, which is used for basically all your turn signals if you're gonna switch over from the incandescent to the LED. Okay, guys, we're back. Now, this is exactly what I was explaining. Once you switch over from the incandescent bulbs to your LED, this is called hyperflash, right? I've already tied into the factory connector for the turn signal, right? Because this connector actually fits in this new aftermarket headlight assembly. So this is the low resistor, right? This is a 50 watt. And once I connect it, you connect one to the hot, one to the ground. Watch when I touch it, you see it's hyper flashing now. Once I touch it, see it slow down. That's a normal flash for every car, okay? My hand is actually holding this here. So you're gonna connect your low resistor. This is a 6 ohm, 50 watt one. And you see it's flashing normally. Once I take this connection off, it goes back to hyper flashing. So that's basically it. Whenever you're doing these, find a very secure location because these things get really hot. Sorry, it's hot now. So find a good metal spot. Never mount these where plastic is because this is metal. So I'm actually gonna mount it here, which is gonna be behind this aftermarket headlight assembly. And all right, that's it, guys. I'm gonna get back to work. I'm gonna break down this other side and start prepping the wires for the new headlights, which look absolutely wonderful. Actually has plastic on it now. So but anyway, see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hello and happy Saturday. This is Dwayne Lee at Creative L Concepts, where all the magic happens. And today I'm working on my 2009 Nissan Murano, just right here. So I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of what I'm actually doing to this thing. So when I purchased it, it was used, sort of dogged out. The fog lights were busted. The headlights were completely oxidized. I cleaned them up and they're in a box and I'm gonna sell them. So because they're actually worth pretty good amount of money. So the factory ballast that comes with this car, the way Nissan designed it, is somewhat connected to the high beam. I had to rewire the entire lighting system in the front of this car. All right, the only way I could do it was to run a separate circuit and switch for the fog lights, which I'll show you right quick. So here's the panel here. Everything has been rewired. We'll turn that on. So these fog lights were actually, there was only one working, one of them was busted. So I actually changed them out aftermarket. They came with a halogen bulb and I changed it out and put in an LED bulb. LEDs are more efficient, they last longer, they look better. So they do look a little blue here, probably a little bit bluer from this video. This is a 8000K color, right? Now you can pull it up on Google, your color charts, you know, for different LEDs or high HID lights. 8000K, 12,000K, 6,000K, they all have different colorizations, so you can pull it up on Google and it'll show you a chart. So these are 8000Ks that I have in here. So as far as the headlight goes, again, I had to rewire everything on the car. So as you can see, low beam, these are HIDs with new ballast in them. And you can see the high beams that is connected to the fog light switch, which I'm going to turn that off now. So basically in rewiring this thing, I had to trick the car. The way Nissan designed it, they connected the low beams with the high beams, which makes it impossible to duplicate the factory setup from the old lights. Now the old lights were, like I said, they were all oxidized and stuff like this. So this was an extremely big challenge for me. It took me a few days to figure out how to rewire this thing to where I can get it to work with the new lights in it, with the old, you know, with the halogen set that was only offered to this car. Like I said, I don't even think Nissan sells the original HID system, which is just set up completely different. So if you guys, if anyone has ever ran into this this challenge here, you know, leave a comment below. But I haven't seen anything like it. You know, I even touched base with one of the mechanics at Nissan, and he was stumped on it because he just never had to, you know, I guess never deal with anything like that. So like I said, I didn't want to go back with the original because they'd already been sanded and cleaned and sprayed over and all kind of different things. So, you know. All right, guys, welcome back to the shop. So we're inside the Nissan Murano 2009. This is my daily driver. So I'm actually upgrading the sound system in it, which you don't have a lot of options with these particular years Muranos between, I think it's 2009, 2008, I think, all the way to 14. The way the dash is set up in here, you can't really add in a double DIN unit that usually goes right here because it has a display, a factory display that actually controls everything in the vehicle. So there's a company, and I will put that in the description below, called Nifty City. And this is actually the box with the equipment in it here. There's all your wiring harnesses, plugs, different things. So it's going to replace also the display. Okay. Now the display in the factory for these Muranos were not touchscreen, right? It's just a display. So all your controls are basically on this part here, right? So I will be able, once I switch this over to this is an Android based system. So I'm going to get started on this. I don't have my head cam yet. I will be getting one at a later date. So right now I'm tearing everything down. The console's in the house. I'm adding in some extra USB connectors with that. And I'm going to have a direct power connector where even if the car is off, you can plug it in, you plug your phone in and charge it. Without further ado, I'm going to power it up, and you will get the Nissan logo that pops up on here, which is pretty cool. All right. So when it boots up, it goes to I call this a flip-flop system because you are utilizing, you're keeping the factory components, but you're just adding their system along with it. So in order to get to their screen, you hold the back button down for a couple seconds and it jumps right onto the menu screen of your Android based system. And this is Android 12. So there's your Netflix button there. So if you got, you know, Netflix subscription, you can actually utilize that and watch, movies or whatever, which is pretty cool. It does have Google, so you can search that, if you have a Google account, again, it's pretty cool. There's your apps there. You got the Play Store settings, Google Chrome, YouTube, different things like that. Again, it is touchscreen. So I got my music on here. Now I'm running this music off of a USB, right? Yeah, so there's my little USB thing in there. Now that is a T-Mobile hotspot that I'm actually paying $10 a month for, so I can actually unplug it from any car, plug it in. It gives me complete Wi-Fi to take advantage of the different features that Android systems come with. And so there's the Kingston there. So we go to videos. These are the videos on my USB. So it has a lot of features. It's definitely a huge upgrade, and it sounds excellent. Sounds excellent with the with the stock speakers. Basically, and when you do these installs, make sure that you run through all your tests and everything like this. Actually have my car plugged up. You gotta excuse my workbench because it's usually clean. So I'm looking at I got my battery maintainer. Anytime I do an extensive job on a vehicle where I'll be testing it, hooking up different connections, going through all the the displays and modes and stuff like that, you will tend to run the battery down because you'll be opening and close the doors, which I got the interior lights turned off, but it has door lights on it. All right, guys, happy Saturday. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dwayne Lee, your host at Creative L Concepts, where all the magic happens. So finishing up the interior, the upgrade on this 2009 Nissan Murano. I got everything put back in place. I got the console done in here. I did, as I was rewiring this thing, I added a compartment light that works without the key, with the ignition being on. All right. And I also added, I think it's the 3.0 fast charging. You can get these, pretty much everywhere, Amazon, eBay. But what I did, I actually direct wired it. Okay, so it doesn't work with the car. So, if the car is off and somebody wants to charge their phone while the car is in a parking lot, if we're shopping or whatever the case is, you got a main switch here that I put in. Okay, that's the light. The main switch turns it on and off. All right, it's on now. Now it's off. And of course, this light, this compartment light for the console, actually works direct power as well. And I do that to all my vehicles pretty much. So yep, like I said, this is a carbon fiber kind of a sticker. You can get it for different variations of cars. You can get wood grain or carbon fiber. I thought the black carbon fiber will look better in this application, especially because I'm updating and upgrading this Murano. So turning on the system here, of course it works off the key fob like most of the newer cars does, and you got the Nissan logo. So right now it's on auxiliary. Auxiliary is from the factory connection. Now I did do a previous video to let you guys know, if you do have a model Nissan Murano or the Maxima around these years between 2009 2014, if you do go with this company, Nifty City, they do offer a Android based system. This is Android 12. So, it actually has a better processor in it. It's quicker, snappier, different things like that. And that's what you're looking for. So in order to switch over to their system, you hold down the back button. And there you go. So you're on your apps right here. Like I said, it's got your Chrome settings, map, all the different things. And if you want to go to, let's go to music. So music, let me see if I can go back another screen. Always hit your back button. This is how you navigate through the newer system. When you hit music, so it's actually playing different tracks. And this, again, this is all off the USB. So, and it does show album art, which is cool. You know, you get those when you get higher end units, you know, Kenwood, Pioneer, Alpine. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, you know. So when you go to your Gmap, your Google, it has your Google Maps in it. Right, so now this thing is sitting in my garage, so it does pick up my home Wi-Fi, right? Again, this is an Android based system, but I do have a T9 hotspot. Don't know if you can see it in there. It's actually flashing right now because this T9 works off of, and it's from T-Mobile, so it does work off of a battery power. Now they have a different model that only connects to your car that has to be powered, but this one has a battery, so you can actually mobilize it. You can take it out, you know, if you're DJing and whatnot. So so right now, let me see what the system is on. I think I might have to go back to back. All right, so it'll tell you right here in the upper left-hand corner, T9 Franklin, that is the hotspot. So, you know, when you're out driving and everything like this, you are getting full, you know, internet capability, Wi-Fi, which is, you know, great. All the newer vehicles have that. Again, the work that I do, I upgrade your older vehicles and give you the newest technology that the new cars have, but you don't have a bill where you're paying $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a vehicle. Okay, I didn't pay nowhere near for this vehicle as some of the new ones, and this one actually has more features on it than you know, a lot of the newer vehicles. So hello, welcome back to the final video of this 2009 Nissan Murano upgrade. So as you can see, I actually got the overhead console put back in. There's my hidden stealth radar, my own concept. Wires already ran through the headliner, down through the A-pillar and into the fuse box with the connector that I showed you earlier in this video. So right now I'm gonna do a test on it. I got my proximity key in my pocket. Hit the button here.
X band, K band, KA band, laser.
All right, so everything is working properly. So it's in accessory mode. Like I said, you know, from the fuse panel, I ran into that accessory that goes into the cigarette lighter, which works off your, you know, your accessory. So when I turn off the vehicle, this radar detector will turn back off. Like I said, it's such a better option than having it mounted on the windshield, on the dash or something where people can see it. You know, and it's just it is something that's enticing to thieves because they can quickly break the glass and snatch it and grab it, you know, and it'll be plugged into the cigarette lighter, which is, you know, having a wire hanging down anyway, you know, out of the way. Most vehicles only come with one socket, you know, so, and then if you're utilizing that for your radar detector, then you don't have, you know, a spot for your phone, unless you got a newer car that has like a, you know, like the pad, the wireless pad and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. Hope you guys are having a great one, and I will see you in the next video.